Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Hey, hey, hey. There you are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet, and I am having some weird technical issues here. My computer's telling me that it's not working, but it is. And so hopefully you can hear me and everything went fine. It's not choppy. But the monitor here is choppy. I don't know, but it says it's an excellent connection. So I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. Anyway, welcome to the Morning Night Live. I think I already said that. I'm your host Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Monday, the 29th of April, 2024. And I got to tell you, I didn't really pay attention to the news a lot this weekend. I was really busy with stuff. I didn't go to Des Moines. I never went to the Drake relays and did my normal end of April drinking binge with my old buddies from school. I stayed home and painted furniture and did some sanding and all this stuff and sold a couple items and just, I stayed home, but I didn't pay attention to the news a lot. But then yesterday I started looking at some stuff. And I'm like, oh, this whole thing over here, looking more and more like a setup. And a lot of people are saying that in the news. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about some things Biden did. The nerd prom. You know what the nerd prom is? The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Joe Biden said some interesting things there. I guess he wants the press to back him like they did last presidential election. You know how that goes. Remember that Time magazine article? I got to pull that up because I got to, every time I hear someone talk about, oh, yeah, the National Enquirer, that in the case in New York, the National Enquirer was, basically serving the, the interest of one man, one candidate. And I'm like, do you guys read or watch any of the other news outlets at all? Are you people serious? What do you as if they're all not in the pocket. But Joe Biden explicitly told them that they need to back his presidency. I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll get to all of it. Of course, I'm going to say hi to y'all first. So, first the chat. Over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diabli gets the bell today. Something new and different. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, and Mr. Protocol. What's up, Protocol? Hotep and Build, that's right. Good morning. I don't know why I said that's right.
That's right.
You get one of those. Good morning. Also, over on YouTube, first in chat is Patio Furniture. Oh my gosh. There's a different name at the top. And also there's Mike Savage, Blarg. Wow, AD. You let two people beat you today. I know. You probably got one of those YouTube glitch things. Anyway, also good morning, Avocados Diabli, of course. Also, hello to Kara Soldier, Attack Alpaca. Sarah's in the house. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you in the chat. Lord Stanhope is here. My favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. Tyler F is here. And now, wow, we're Unacceptable Views. Anon, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, Amazing Disgrace. Green Badger Outdoors. Rod Line, what's up? Good morning via chat. And Simon Wolfwood's here. Good morning to Renee Mayette. Just got 7 yards of mulch delivered. Oh my gosh. Is that 7 yards? Holy smokes. I suppose, let me think about that. Because my truck holds about 3 yards. And I know I filled it at least twice the last time we redid our mulch. We're gonna have to do that again this year. So okay, 7 yards. That's a lot because I use a lot. I have 2 gigantic gardens, a big hosta garden, and then half of my backyard is mulch instead of grass around the trees. So I get it. That's a lot of mulch to move. Holy crap. Also, good morning. JB's in the house. Episkipos, Hellsung is here, and that looks like the end of the chat right now. More people are showing up as we speak. Welcome, everybody, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you had a good weekend. My weekend was busy. I do have the requisite cup of coffee. This time it's the BB39, which is the USS Arizona Cup. Picked that up when we were at Pearl Harbor. That was a great experience going to check out Pearl Harbor. Holy smokes, that was a cool place. Solemn yet very cool. The side of the U.S. Arizona, you take this ferry out, or little boat out there, and seeing some of the oil still dripping coming from the ship after what is it? How many years? 80 years, almost 80 years ago. Well, it was over 80 years that Pearl Harbor was attacked. But anyway, really, really wild, man. So anyway, let's get in the show. I got a lot and even more in the extended links today that I'm never going to get to, but I have several links open, so we'll get to as much as we can and then call it a day, because it is a day. So first, quick thank yous to. Now I'm having really major computer problems here. I can't even close crap right now. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm going to, come on. Oh my God, this is driving me nuts. I'm gonna have to do something about this. But anyway, thank you for people who already tweeted out the show. Somnable Nation in particular, who's always right on the spot. Also, thank you, Tyler F. And I think that's it. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so and please share the stream if you haven't done so already. You can I put the tweet up in the chat somewhere up there, or you can just hit the share arrow down below on both these Rumble and YouTube and share it that way. Good morning, Tribute Liberty. What's up, my brother? And also hit the like button during the show, and if you want to sponsor the show. PDogNight.live, daily donation goals. Do I have it at 60? What do I have it at? I don't even know. Did it even reset? I can't read it from here. Let's see. Let me make that bigger. And let's see what this is. I don't even know what I did. Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah, so the daily donation goal is 60 on Streamlabs. And that's the best place to do your super chats, just because it's easier for me to manage. Also, you don't give as much away to other people. More of it goes to the person you're giving to. All right, let's get into some just topics that are happening. Now, I normally get some glasses on. No, I have the window really tiny, the monitor window, so I can't see it. So that's why. Party's PC caught the clap from looking at up internet porn. No, I don't. I don't do that. I'm too old for that shit. Anyway, let's, now here's something that I don't spend a lot of time talking about Scotland, but there is some big news, happening in Scotland, which, normally not my wheelhouse. I don't know a whole lot about, Scotland in particular, although one of my best friends was married to a Scottish woman, and she was nuts, and I will never judge Scotland by her. But apparently there is Scotland's first minister, and his name is Hamsi Youssef. It was trending. Why is this not working? Good God, work. Hamsi Youssef is trending, and apparently he is resigning in disgrace, some people say. His legacy includes the hatred of the Scottish people and mainstreaming of American leftist woke politics and pro-Gaza foreign policy. His famous 2020 speech before he was elected. I'll skip that for now. But the most Scottish of names. Yes, very, very Scottish. So anyway, here's the article from Spiked. Hamza Yusuf is everything wrong with modern politics. Vain, haughty, and brazenly disdainful of working people. We now know what wokeness in power looks like. I think just found out there's a heroin epidemic in Scotland. No, I didn't know there was a heroin epidemic in Scotland. Don't tell me. I didn't find that out. Anyway, he says, for me, the most notable thing about Scottish First Minister Hamza Yusuf is his haughtiness. Rarely has a man's arrogance been so out of proportion to his intellect. He has honed to perfection the Diane Abbott style of addressing both the media and the masses as if they were special needs children. Remember the time he told a striking nurse to stop being patronizing? All she said is that politicians like him are not listening to nurses' concerns. Let's not patronize each other, he snapped. A man with a great power telling an underpaid health worker to check her patronizing tone is ironically patronizing beyond comprehension. Now, I don't know the political background of Spiked magazine, but anyway, if this were just a personality trait, I could live with it, kind of. If his snide, arrogant, and patronizing demeanor, as one Scottish observer described it, was just the way he is, I'd be a tad more forgiving. We can all be wankers at times. But with Yusuf, something else is at play. His condescending style is directly reflective of his condescending politics, his conceited bemusement at journalist questions, and pompous disdain for the Scottish throng are less personality tics than core tenets of his identitarian belief system. It is not an accident that a man beholden to the ideology of woke should be such a neo-aristocratic rise. So anyway, he was supposed to be heading for a no confidence vote following the dissolving of the coalition between his Scottish National Party and the Greens, and it's worth reflecting on what time in office has told us about politics. His time in office told us about politics in the 21st century. It's unlikely his first ministership will border his. Okay, this is way too much information. Let's just look at the tweets, okay? Because this is too much. He's trending and Scotland's trending. So, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? What the hell's going on here? Today, see, this is the problem I'm having. My computer's just not refreshing. And I know my processor is, what would you say? That it's my processor's slow, but this is just ridiculous. Let me just fix this. Give me a second. There we go. By the way, good morning, Hotep Dutch. What's up? And Genty Maxi. What's up? So anyway, good Lord, come on. So anyway, let's see what some other tweets. Last week, Scotland's First Minister, a Pakistani man born in Scotland, attacked the country for being too white. Really? Please, come on, computer. He is now resigning after finding out that he was going to be removed. This is the way it's done. If we plan to defeat the woke virus, we must be willing to stand up to it in all forms. Okay, I don't even know what that means. All I know is that he's some say he's a condescending prick. And Hamza Yusuf, the child of Pakistani migrants, is resigning both as SNP leader and Scotland's first minister. His left-wing coalition is in tatters because he took anti-white, pro-trans wokeness too far, and Scotland rejected it. So, Scotland's one of those places where they write speech laws and they do all kinds of shit like that. So that's why he's trending, Scotland's trending, and he personally is trending on the app formerly known as Twitter, known as X. Here's a 30-second video of him resigning.
Therefore, after spending the weekend reflecting on what is best for my party, for the government, and for the country I lead, I've concluded that repairing our relationship across the political divide can only be done with someone else at the helm. I have therefore informed the SNP's National Secretary of my intention to stand down as party leader and ask that she commences a leadership contest for my replacement as soon as possible.
Okay, so there you go. There's
Therefore,
shut up! There's Hamza Youssef resigning. Okay. Now, there was also, and now I don't know what's going on in the world that's causing this. Did I just freeze? Yes, I did. This is not good. Okay. I don't know what in the world's causing this, but also in Spain, there was a hint that perhaps the Spanish prime minister would resign, but apparently he did not. Now, here's the story on him. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez will not resign after allegations against wife. Pedro Sanchez has said he will stay on as Spain's prime minister following 5 days of speculation over his future. Mr. Sanchez canceled official engagements last week after a court opened an initial inquiry into his wife over corruption claims. He denounced them as a harassment campaign by right-wing media. Oh, they do that over there too? Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Hello, Kessler. What's happening? Expression of solidarity from all sections of society meant he decided to remain in office, he added. A series of demonstrations were held around Spain over the weekend calling for the prime minister to continue his post. Oh, so some of these socialist types wanted him to stay. More than 10,000 people gathered in front of the Socialist Party headquarters in Madrid in a show of support from the prime minister. Thanks to this mobilization, I have decided to continue leading the presidency, Mr. Sanchez said, vowing to carry on with more strength if possible. What does that mean? Is that going to be an iron fist kind of thing? What the hell's going on? Anyway, now here's the accusation against Mr. Sanchez's wife, Bigona Gomez, were brought against her by the organization Manos Limpias, which is clean hands, led by a man linked to the far right. His name was Miguel Bernard. On Thursday, Madrid's public prosecutor called for the probe to be shelved for lack of evidence. Manos Limpias also acknowledged the allegation might be incorrect because they were based on online newspaper stories, one of which was clearly proven to be false. In a speech, Mr. Sanchez also acknowledged that his statement announcing his decision to take time off to reflect may have been disconcerting, but said that there are times when the only way to move forward is to stop, reflect, and decide what way you want to go. So anyway, so there was some big scandal. They thought he was going to resign. He didn't, so yippity skippity doo, my darling. It's a slow news week, so I got to talk about other countries. Well, not that slow. Now there are other things trending. There are people trending. Apparently, meathead is trending. Now, whenever the word meathead is trending, we know that it's probably something about the celebrity, Mr. Rob Reiner. Do I keep freezing? I can't tell. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Anyway, and he's trending because of something he said. Apparently, Rob Reiner has said that he will set himself on fire if Donald Trump becomes president again. Now, I have thoughts on that. How would you like your meathead done? Medium rare, well done. Who knows? I don't care. Why would you say that you would set yourself on fire if Donald Trump is elected president? Now, somebody also, what is this? Hey, Mita, can you take a few? Oh, because remember, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has pleaded for the wealthy to help buying houses for the homeless, which really means just the immigrants, right? Freezing, but audio is solid. Okay, that's cool. All right, that's good. So anyway, I didn't need any other reason to vote for Donald Trump in the next election, but it would be entertaining. Never mind. I probably shouldn't have said that. Also trending, James Carville, speaking of supporting Biden, James Carville was a little upset over the weekend. The former Clinton advisor and human penis, James Carville, apparently is having a breakdown over the fact that people are not more enthusiastic about giving another 4 years to Joseph Rahim Biden. So here's James Carville over the weekend. This is, everyone's playing this same 17-second clip. So let's watch this.
If they get a hold, there will be no government left. There will be no rights left. You'll live under theocracy. You'll end up Christian nationalism. But that's all right, you little fucking 26-year-old. You don't feel like the election's important to me. They're not addressing the issues that I care about. If they get a hold.
Okay, now. It's so funny, you know. The new thing is that, and it's not, well, not so new, but they're saying, Democrats especially, are saying, Democrats in the media, and which is redundant, they keep saying that if Trump is elected, we will no longer have a democracy. And I think to myself, why? What exactly does Trump do or say that makes you think he'll try to serve more than 4 years? And what mechanism would allow for that in our Constitution and our constitutional republic? I'm not buying it. They keep saying that he wants to be president for life. He wants to be a dictator, blah, 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 blah. Granted, there were protests after January 6th, but that's because it was an election in which he felt he was cheated. Now, whether he was or not, is almost a moot point. If he thought he was, and he tried to make moves to legally fix the problem, which we figured out there's pretty much no way to even fix it if there was an election where that was not legit. It's kind of interesting because Democrats are already saying, here, I need to take this penis off my screen, excuse me. Democrats have pretty much already said that they are not going to, they don't want to certify the vote if Trump is reelected. They're already planning their own little coup, and they're already figuring out ways that they can undermine him if he becomes president again. And I'm like, you keep saying that, he's going to destroy democracy. There'll be no democracy. Representative Republic, democracy. We're a democratically elected representative republic, whatever. You know what they mean. Every time I hear them say democracy, the only thing I can hear coming from them is Democrats in power. Whenever they say democracy, he's going to destroy democracy. No, he's saying you're going to destroy Democrats in power. Hello, Jessica Biel. Well, sort of Jessica Biel. What are you doing? Why are you putting a free OnlyFans guide blogspot.com in my chat on Rumble? I don't even know who you are. Why are you even don't put links in my chat. I'm the only one who should be putting links in my chat. But if anyone wants to click, I don't care, but I'm not going to. But welcome to the show, and hope you enjoyed the 17 seconds that you're here. Anyway, so Democrats just, all they're saying when they say, it's a danger to our democracy. No, change the word to Democrats in power. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit about democracy. And they don't even care about the rules. Okay? If they can find a way to circumvent the rules, they will, because power is all they care about. So anyway, James Carville, hilarious, the human penis. Now let's get into kind of the main topics. I'm going to get to the main topic early today because I want to have plenty of time to get through some of these articles. Hello, Bookworm Addict, by the way. Dems didn't pass a law denying alternate electors after. Didn't Democrats pass a law denying alternate electors after Trump tried to use them? Well, that's just it. The alternate electors that they put in place. Let's just take an example here. That was in case the court cases they had to, they were trying to get through would have been successful. Now, a lot. It's fun, and it's funny because the Democrats or whoever, the people that hate Trump want to call them fake electors. No, they were in place in case they won a court case. Because once you win a court case, you still have to have the electors move forward, right? So they tried to set up in states where they thought there were shenanigans or whatever going on. They came up with alternate electors just in case they would have won those cases. Or the states themselves too can, if they decide to, reevaluate an election, they have to have someone in place to be the electors. So that's what they did. I don't know. It's just, and I think, yes, I think Democrats tried to do that. I don't know if it happened, but they tried. All right, let's get into, I'm not getting to main topic yet. Let's talk about Nerd Prom. Now, Nerd Prom is the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it's one of the top topics on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Oh, I see what's happening. It keeps freezing every time I switch. I'm going to have to figure this out. Anyway, Nerd Prom. Apparently, Biden's toast at the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night, or was it last night or the Saturday night? Whatever night it was, sparked a little controversy because, here's the summary from X, from Grok on X. President Biden's toast to a free press and informed citizenry and enduring freedom and democracy, Democrats in power, in America has sparked a lively online debate. While some users questioned the administration's commitment to press freedom, others supported the importance of a free press in a democratic society. The discussion highlighted the ongoing tension between the ideal of a free press and the realities of media dynamics in contemporary America. Now, whatever. Keep at it. We missed the first 37 times. Oh, yeah, she keeps dropping that link. And I'm like, Jessica, why do you keep dropping the link? What the hell happened there? Where'd my pop-out chat go? Good God, what is happening here? Fix that. Put that back over there so I can find it. Thank you. And, it's still there. I just wanted to be able to enable a long chat. There we go. Enable large history. There we go. All right. Where was I? Oh, Joseph Rahim Biden. So, and what the hell? This is driving me nuts. So here's let's do a couple of different things on this White House Correspondents' Dinner. Maybe, God damn it, this is crazy. This is all very frustrating. All right, so let's talk about the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is always, aka Nerd Prom. Members of the press corps, politicians, and other DC elite. Yes, they like themselves just to think of themselves as elite. Gathered Saturday night at the Washington Hilton for a cavalcade of self-indulgence during the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner. The event, hosted by Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost, which honestly, let me just say something. Of what I've seen of Saturday Night Live in the last year, the Weekend Update with Colin Jost and the other dude is probably the only funny thing on there anymore. Hello, Jimmy Das Hotep. What's up, brother? The event hosted by Saturday Night Live's Colin Jost exemplified the Fourth Estate's deep relationship with the Democratic Party. It's almost synonymous. Following remarks from White House Correspondents Association's President Kelly O'Donnell, NBC's Lester Holt emerged to present WHCA awards to some of the biggest names in corporate journalism. National Public Radio's Tamara Keith won the award for broadcast journalism delivered on deadline for her coverage of President Biden's post-October 7th, 2023 visit to Israel. Keith, upon receiving the award, warmly greeted Biden, shaking his hand and posing for a cozy picture with the subject of her reporting. Holt praised Keith's professionalism, but the moment exemplified the relationship between the media elite, leftist Democrats, and the people they're supposed to objectively report on. Biden also posed for a picture with a trio of ProPublica journalists who won an award. Biden notably appeared to get uncomfortably close to one of the recipients, Lomi Creel. Now, Biden got a little creepy there, didn't he? Got a little too close. He got within what do you call it? Sniffing distance. The WCHCA also awarded scholarships to a number of aspiring reporters who proudly professed in a pre-recorded video, quote, "We are the voice of the people," end quote. Democrats. The choreographed remarks not only highlighted the stereotypical D.C. journalist's inflated sense of self-importance, but also previewed just how non-critical the next generation of stenographers in training could turn out to be. Perhaps the cringiest moment emerging from the sea of pure cringe came when members of the White House Correspondents Association tried their hand at a viral TikTok trend attempting to mimic the insert random thing here, of course, insert another random thing here, meme. Currently, but possibly soon to be former White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, and her very French name, put the cherry on top of the cringe cake with her awkward rendition of the skit. I gotta see that. Wait a minute. Anyway, Colin Joss' monologue, while mildly humorous, specifically roasting the New York Times for being more popular for their Wordle phone game than for their journalism, completely missed the mark when he questioned why Biden is still neck and neck with Trump despite the numbers indicating a strong economy. That was probably his best joke of the night. Jose, I've got a newsflash for you. With inflation continuing to rise, 63% of Americans still can't afford a $500 emergency, according to a survey from the Federal Reserve. I think that the fundamentals of the economy, this is what he said, I think the fundamentals of the economy have to be measured by whether or not the middle class is getting a fair shake. You know who said that, Colin? Barack Obama. Anyway, do you really believe with nearly 2/3 of the country a car wreck away from poverty, the middle class is getting a fair shake? Jost, a professional comedian, ended his set not with jokes, but with a heartfelt tribute to Biden's democracy. So let's watch this. Let's watch it. Oh, this is 4 minutes? It's a 4-minute monologue? Oh, my God. I just wanted the highlights.
And with my...
You know what? Maybe we'll come and watch this at the end. Maybe we'll watch it at the end. I'm curious if it was actually funny or not. Anyway, Biden managed to pull himself together for a rousing 10 minutes, during which he roasted former President Trump for his ongoing legal battles. You know what's funny about this, too? And I think I'm going to blame Trump for this a little bit, because during the White House, I'm going to blame Obama. Obama's the one who started this shit. So during the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's usually the President of the United States and the most recent President of the United States from the other party, okay? And Donald Trump has decided to fuck off to that, right? And it used to be that when they gave their speeches, the tradition was that they would roast themselves and not the opponent. Barack Obama, remember, changed that. He refused to roast himself. And so now they roast the other person. So Biden managed to pull himself for a rousing 10 minutes, during which he roasted former President Trump for his ongoing legal battles, the majority of which were brought about by Biden's own Department of Justice. Attendees clapped like trained seals as Biden blasted Trump. Fox News and even the New York Times for critical coverage of him. Halfway through the 10 minutes, however, Biden changed the tone, thanking the press for their heroism, and saying to them, "You literally risk your lives while comparing them to first responders on 9/11. Oh my God. President Trump fired off criticism of the event's attempts at comedy.
You know the thing.
On Truth Social Sunday, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was really bad. Colin Jost bombed, and Crooked Joe was an absolute disaster. Don't get much worse than that. So, real quick, thank you, Avocados Dalby, the first sponsor of the day. You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, sir. Dropping a small bullet in the tip jar via Streamlabs. That would be $2.23. I forget y'all can't really see these. Avocados Dalby says, don't tease me like that. For a second there, I figured they tried a viral TikTok craze of self-immolation. Oh, yeah, that would have been much better. Yeah, they could all Rob Reiner themselves. They're all considered. Anyway, thank you, AD, for putting the first 223 in. The goal is $60, people. If you can, great. If you can't, I get it. Whatever. But I appreciate you, AD, for doing that. While nobody expected the dinner to be anything more than a joke, even I was impressed with the degree to which the supposed objective free press fawned over Biden and his Democrats. Now, is this the entire Biden speech? Because I'm not going to play 10 minutes of Joe Biden either, because there are some highlights somewhere.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the whole 10 minutes. We're not doing that. Let's just go to the what people clipped on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Now, let's see. Now, here's President Biden tweeting about it. Last night, we toasted to a free press, to an informed citizenry, and to an America where freedom and democracy endure. Every time I hear the word democracy, all I hear is Democrats in power. Now, let's go to Zero Hedge, because they have... Apparently, Biden lectures the press, though, during this speech to get behind his campaign. In an incredible moment at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday, Joe Biden lectured reporters, telling them they need to rise up and get behind his campaign, insinuating that if they don't, there will no longer be a free press in America. Now, what the bloody hell are you saying here? Here's, maybe this clip will play. Maybe it won't. I'm not. Okay, here we go. Play.
On the third anniversary of January 6th, I went to Valley Forge.
Oh, here he goes.
Said the most urgent question of our time is whether democracy is still the sacred cause of America.
Again, every time you hear them say democracy, that means Democrats in power. Okay.
America. That is the question the American people must answer this year.
Yes, this picture's fuzzy.
Play a critical role in making sure the American people have the information they need to make an informed decision. The defeated former president has made no secret of his attack on our democracy.
On Democrats in power.
He said he wants to be a dictator on day one.
No, he didn't. He said no such goddamn thing. He joked about how he would be a dictator for the first day, and then he'd go back to being the president, joking about the executive orders that he would put together. Okay, he did not say he wanted to be a dictator on day one. Joe just mangles whatever Trump says and puts it out however he wants. Play.
And so much more. He tells supporters he is their revenge and retribution. When in God's name have you ever heard of another president say?
Yes, he said that our success of a presidency would be the revenge and retribution. He's saying if we succeed, that will be that's the only kind of revenge I'm looking for, is to be a successful president. He just completely, it's like the, what was the recently, what was the fighting words or whatever he said? When he said, oh my God, I can't remember. Anyway, here we go.
Something like that. And he promised a bloodbath.
Bloodbath! There it is! Oh my God! No, he didn't put this in the speech! Holy shit! Oh no! Wait a minute. I'm backing this up.
And retribution.
All
When
of
in
these
God's name have you heard of another
are
president say
complete
something like that?
lies.
And he promised a bloodbath when he loses again. We have to take this seriously.
Oh, my
8
God.
years ago, he could have written
Oh,
off
my
as just
God.
Trump talk, but no longer. Not after January 6th.
He
sincerely not asking you to
blatantly
take
lied.
sides, but asking you to rise up to the seriousness of the moment.
Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. What? Let's see this. Is this the same thing? Biden. Okay, so here we go. Biden calls the journalists to rise up against Trump. Rise up against Trump. That's what he told them to do. On the 30th anniversary of January, blah, blah, blah. Calls the journalists to defend democracy, move past the horse race numbers and gotcha moments and distractions. Well, here's the second part of this. Maybe. Eventually.
Move past the horse race numbers and the gotcha moments,
Holy
the
shit.
distractions, the sideshows that have come to dominate,
Like you lying about
sensationalize our politics, and focus on what's actually at stake. I think in your hearts you know it was at stake. The stakes couldn't be higher. Every single one of us has a role to play, a serious role to play, in making sure democracy endures, American democracy. I have my role, but in all due respect, so do you.
Democrats in power.
In the age of disinformation,
Which they like
information
to. In the age of disinformation, laptop story.
that people can trust is more important than ever.
Yes, and we don't trust the media. The politicians and the media are the most distrusted people in America. So, what are you talking about, Joe?
Makes you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, makes you more important than ever. So tonight, I'd like to make a toast.
Really? Let's see what your toast is. What's your toast, Joe?
To a free press.
Free press. He can't even talk. Free press.
To an informed citizenry. To an America where freedom and democracy endure.
Democrats in power.
God bless America.
Yeah. Wow. He made a mistake. Notice how unenthusiastic they were? You know what his mistake was? He said, God bless America. Oh my gosh. So I cannot believe he just taking words. Someone said in the chat how he just uses words that were used. And I think we should just start doing that with Joe Biden, because that's the rules now. Just take the words, no matter what the sentence was, only take the words that put you in a negative light and throw them out there. And that's exactly what he did in that speech. So anyway, a free press, but I'm not going to tell you what to write about or what not to do. So he's saying, don't write anything about me, just go after Trump. Basically, these are just responses on X. That's a campaign rally. These are his constituents. Spot on. In other words, take sides. This all comes in a week when Biden has managed to ignite a new war with the New York Times. The Times is annoyed with Biden's complete disinterest in providing interviews or access for reporters, while his administration is angry that the Times isn't falling into line as a propaganda arm against Trump. And yeah, it's so weird. The New York Times, look, the trans, not the LGBTQ, just the T and everything after B, they're mad at the New York Times because they're saying the New York Times is anti-trans for actually publishing articles that don't necessarily favor their stance on how the world should work. But because like as in facts, they don't like that. And Biden's mad at them because they're not just his stenographers like they have been in the past. So, and especially on the economy, they tell the truth about what's happening in the economy, particularly inflation and cost of living and everything like that. So they're mad at the New York Times, and that's. But again, every time I hear them say democracy, any Democrat, because they're using that word over and over and over, and all that means to me is Democrats in power. Good morning, Nomad.
Stop. Hammer time.
What's up? All right. There's a couple other articles. I'm going to skip them. In Front Page Magazine, regarding Biden's sad war. White House correspondents did a performance. What was Biden's biggest mistake? Getting up to speed. Hey, Protocol, thanks for subscribing. Nice to have you on board on YouTube over there. And then in Miranda Devine, Joe Biden's far from decent despite what the media and celebrities claim. Let's talk. Maybe we should read this one too. Let me see what this other one is. Daily Caller. We just read that one. The White House Correspondents' Dinner. And then there's one more, but that's, we'll get to that in a second. In the New York Post, Miranda Devine. Let's see how she starts out here. Is this her? There we go. Joe Biden is the least popular president in the past 70 years, according to a new Gallup poll. But you wouldn't know it if you were at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington on Saturday night. The glittering event is supposed to be a roast of the president. Instead, it was a flattering suck-up to Biden amid jabs at Donald Trump. That's all they did. Saturday Night Live. Why isn't this not scrolling? Come on. There we go. Saturday Night Live comedian Colin Jost, best known as Scarlett Johansson's second husband, is a Staten Island boy who reads the Post, so you'd think he'd have a clue, but he ended up his performance with a gushing tribute to Biden's decency. Yeah. He's very decent at sniffing people. My grandfather, a Staten Island firefighter, voted for you, Mr. President, because you are a decent man. My grandpa voted for decency. Decency is how we're able to be here tonight. Decency is how we're able to make jokes about each other, and one of us doesn't go to prison after. Don't tell any jokes negative about Biden. You might have the IRS sticking a telescope up your behind. Anyway, I'm not going to read this. She goes over the speech. You can read this. She's not a fan of Joe Biden. Let's move on. Now, this is interesting too. Speaking of Biden, apparently there's some OnlyFans performer named Farha Khalidi, and she said she was blackpilled after making political propaganda ads for the Biden administration. Now, first of all, why was an OnlyFans model? Oh, performer. They say performer here. Why was she making political ads for Joe Biden? Well, I don't know, but let's read it. Internet personality and OnlyFans performer. Can they just call her a hoe? Farha Khalidi stated during a podcast that she was black-pilled after making political propaganda ads on TikTok for the Biden administration. Khalidi and other ex-Muslim OnlyFans performer Jasmine Jafar joined political science researcher and commentator Richard Hanania on his podcast to discuss her introduction to making money online through TikTok, which is going to be banned if they're not sold by the end of the year, which I think is stupid. Personally, I think TikTok ban is stupid. That's just all that they're doing is giving more power to Meta and Google, but whatever. In a clip of the podcast posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, Hanania began by asking Khalidi if she began making money on TikTok and OnlyFans while she was still in school. Well, here, let's just see how much of this they put on here. It's only 1:53. Let's watch.
So you were in school. You were still in college when you started as a TikTok person, right? Or you started OnlyFans when you were in school too?
No, I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then female privilege, life is so easy for a, woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out, and then, TikTok was basically full time.
Okay, wait a minute. Anyone notice anything here? Anybody notice anything here? What this tells me as I look at these two young ladies is simps waste their money. They are not attractive at all. Although I think Jasmine might be well, let's just say she has some certain assets that maybe guys would be interested in. But yeah, okay. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Play.
for me. The guy was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, sustaining
So you were
me.
getting the Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I was doing full on political propaganda.
And they would just,
Wow.
what kind of like Biden created 10 million jobs this year.
Yeah, honestly. And the funny thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because, they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell.
Wait a minute. Now I'm curious. Were they getting paid by Biden for this? Is this some illegal campaign shit that they could go after Biden for? That's weird. That's a weird.
People like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say like as a person of color, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like,
white
no.
woman.
And she's like, please, and I'm like, no. I'll like
an
talk
awful,
about the news of it.
an awful emailed that to her. An awful. I forgot what awful stands for, but anyway, AWFL. Oh, affluent white female liberal. Asked her when Ketanji Brown Jackson was nominated to the Supreme Court, an awful, affluent white liberal, affluent white female liberal, emailed her to say, oh, I feel reflected as a woman of color that have some black woman be nominated to the Supreme Court. But she's not a black woman. How would she feel seen because of that? Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Putting another small bullet in the tip jar who says, damn it, why did I never think of this angle? Yes, ladies, this photo shoot is a political ad. Now see those three guys over there? Go pleasure them. Oh, yes, exactly. Thank you for dropping the Streamlabs in there, AD. All right. By the way, yeah, the bot's working. Okay. So anyway, so the Biden administration said, and they're saying, don't let anyone know. We're paying you to do this.
I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so. I think that black-pilled me slightly on like political propaganda
So
stuff.
the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young.
Yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not Biden, but it's like
Biden.
it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah, and the message is,
but it's his
because you're
campaign.
a dark-skinned
Of course you can
woman,
blame him
you
for
will
that.
be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson, and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not how I feel. Like I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah. See, yeah.
So anyway, now Khalidi later clarified the Biden administration was using a conduit through a third-party media company. Hanania called out the message, which was sent to viewers through the ad. So the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young dark kid. Hanania started. Yeah, basically you saw what they said there. But anyway, that's I find great humor in that. And we already knew that the Biden administration has people in media, these media companies that that get these. They send out talking points to all these different influencers. You see the Henry Sissons, you see the Krasensteins, you see Brooklyn Dad Defiant, all these fuckers who showed up at the White House. They have a picture of all these different YouTubers, TikTokers, X people that post constantly, and it all sounds like Democrat talking points, whatever they do. And so, and some of them, the funny thing is, a lot of them go all, oh God, I almost said Ron Burgundy on them, and just post exactly what the talking points word for word. So you'll have 4 or 5 different of these so-called media influencers doing the exact same thing. Yeah, no, she's not black. We know that. Hello, Selectable. But she's a person of color. oh, she's a person of color. Maybe, all these persons, let me think of the affluent white female liberal, the awful, thought when she sent that message to young Farah Khalidi. She said, the affluent white female liberal, awful, said, oh, her skin's dark enough. They're all the same. Hello, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
All right, let's get into the main topic because I'm going to skip. Oh, by the way, Fannie Willis skipped a debate in Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis was absent from a recent debate, leaving her opponent, Christian Wise Smith, to address an empty podium. The incident has sparked speculation and criticism, with some questioning Willis's commitment to her role and the state of the Fulton County DA's office. The upcoming appellate court decision has added to the intrigue surrounding the incident. The event has highlighted the importance of transparency and accountability in public office and the role of debates in the democratic process. So this apparently, oh wait, what's this? More footage I filmed of the National Association of Black County Officials event in Miami, where Fannie Willis spoke on Friday. Why are taxpayers paying for this ghetto broad to party with strippers in Miami, Florida, and drink Grey Goose? Okay, I don't know what this is, but anyway, Fannie Willis, her DA opponent, which I'll open the article here. Maybe if it opens, let's see if we can get to this article open. There we go. I thought it would work, sort of. Now it's not working over here because I'm frozen again. Anyway, we'll just click that and hopefully it'll pop up. There we go. Good Lord. What is going on with this thing? Fannie Willis debates a vacant podium after she skips the event. Embattled Georgia District Attorney Fannie Willis was a no-show for Fulton County's first Democratic Party debate on Sunday, forcing her challenger to debate a vacant podium. Willis skipped the event to co-host the second annual self-care fair with Atlanta City Councilwoman Andrea Boone in honor of Crime Victims' Rights Week. She also chose not to participate in the debate, as she and her office continue to focus on prosecuting former President Donald Trump for 2020 election interference, according to Fox 5 Atlanta. But that didn't stop her opponent, Christian Wise Smith, from taking the stage anyway to call out Willis for her unprofessionalism and hiring her former romantic partner, Nathan Wade, as the special prosecutor on the Trump prosecution earlier this year. Wade was forced to step down as a special prosecutor following the revelation of his affair with Willis. That issue is important to us in Fulton County and a lot of people across the country, Smith said while standing alone on the debate stage. Smith did not allude to the idea that Trump shouldn't be prosecuted for alleged election interference, but explained that Willis has to do things differently. Do you think when you pay one attorney nearly $1 million to handle one case, that leaves the rest of us vulnerable? That hurts everyone in Fulton County. So anyway, Fannie didn't show up. Now, interesting, this is the other part that I was alluding to earlier. If it will scroll, gosh, dang it. Come on, computer, stop freezing on me. Let's try this. There we go. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, fuck it. I ain't going to do it. There we go. Now, apparently, she was at the National Association of Black County Officials event in Miami, Florida, and she spoke at this event. Now I'm kind of I'm confused. I'm confused at what this was about. Here's the event. What is this? What? You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. So they're dancing to a little, okay, that's not, I don't know what's going on there. I don't care. But anyway, Laura Loomer did a little Loomered thing here. And she met.
Hey, Fannie, how come you haven't complied with the Judiciary Committee's request for your communications with the January 6th committee? Did Joe Biden promise you a position at the DOJ during his second administration?
Now,
are you going to be ordering
listen.
Grey Goose tonight, paying in cash? You say that
I don't know how
Trump
Laura Loomer
is
has time to
violating
do
the
this
law,
shit.
But you
And
haven't
she's
even sent your communications with the J6 committee that was requested by the Judiciary Committee.
well, now she's talking to a car that's moving away. Look. I can understand why politicians say this. What the hell? I don't know why people are. I have no. What am I trying to say? I understand why people don't want to talk to Laura Loomer because she's a bit of a nut job herself. But yeah, it's fair questions. She ain't answering that shit though. All right, main topic. Let's get into it. As soon as my computer refreshes. Good God. Yeah, I'll see you, point Nathan Wade. So last week in the Trump documents case in Florida, Judge Cannon did say that a lot of the evidence and documents should be unsealed. And so now there's an interesting question that comes up. New evidence suggests that former President Donald Trump may have been set up in the classified documents case. The unredacted Mar-a-Lago search warrant affidavit, unsealed by Judge Cannon, reveals that the FBI was involved in the case with the General Services Administration, having possession of Trump's boxes in Virginia before ordering his team to retrieve them. A radio host claims the documents were sent to Mar-a-Lago by the Justice Department without request, and Trump still had classified clearance. This raises questions about the case's origins and motives. So we go to this article in PJ Media. Okay. This week in Florida, Judge Eileen Cannon unsealed a trove of new documents that Jack Smith fought to keep hidden. And you'll soon find out why. Among the documents unsealed were extensive exhibits, motions, and other filings shedding light on the intricate web of communications between the Biden White House, who said they weren't involved at all, and the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, N-A-R-A. Hello, Graffiti Bridge. In the lead up to Trump's indictment. And by the way, that's a new name, Graffiti Bridge, in the chat. Now let me just tell you something. Graffiti Bridge, are you from the Twin Cities? That's a Twin Cities phrase. So I'm wondering if you're from the Twin Cities like me. All right. Investigative journalist Julie Kelly found something interesting in the documents that could change everything. The first things is testimony from an FBI agent who testified that the General Services Association, the GSA, had been in possession of Trump's boxes in Virginia before ordering Trump's team to come and get them. Meaning before he took them to Florida. Well, and so she says, well, I'm pretty sure we never heard this part of the classified documents box story. More from the redacted motions in Florida. Anyway, let's just come down here. So, okay. Well, that was Graffiti Bridge. That was just a curiosity. Subscribe and do all that stuff that people do to watch YouTube channels. So an entire pallet full of boxes that had been held by GSA somewhere outside of D.C. is dumped at Mar-a-Lago, Kelly notes. Apparently, these are the boxes that ended up containing papers with classified markings. I will double check indictment, but I don't recall this event in the timeline, she added. So it appears that the Biden administration may have been responsible for shipping classified information to Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Florida. This development is significant because Trump has previously blamed the GSA for packing the boxes that contain the classified documents, only to later accuse Trump of essentially stealing them and using that as a pretext for sending the FBI to raid his Mar-a-Lago home in August. It was a setup from the get-go, remarked Tom Fitton, the founder of Judicial Watch. Meanwhile, Joe Biden had classified information that he was never entitled to have stored in boxes in his garage for years, but it was not charged. Biden blamed staffers for packing the classified information. Now, while this may not prove the Biden administration set up Trump in the classified documents case, considering the way the Biden administration has abused the legal system against Trump, no one can confidently say that they wouldn't. Nope. Even so, it raises other legitimate questions. For example, if the GSA had been in possession of the boxes, why wasn't a review of the materials conducted before they instructed Trump's team to get them? And when it comes to classified information, they wouldn't have expected Trump and his staff to be responsible for ensuring that classified documents weren't among the records. Perhaps they did a review of the contents of the boxes and knew classified documents were contained in them before they told Trump's people to come get them. Naturally, the mainstream media isn't talking about it, but that's why we need readers like you to help us expose the corruption. So anyway, interesting. Yeah, no president packs up their own stuff. That's why that agency exists, to make sure they don't take what they aren't supposed to take in the first place. Exactly. Like, this is hilarious though. That is a new development. So that's the big story today. Also, apparently the Supreme Donna Brazil is upset with the Supreme Court related. This is all Trump related shit. Donna Brazil, Supreme Court close to election interference, saying that Supreme Court is doing election interference. None of the lawfare against Trump is election interference, but the Supreme Court is. She's saying justice delayed is justice denied. Democratic strategist Donna Brazil said Sunday on ABC's This Week that after listening to oral arguments, the Supreme Court was close to election interference with their consideration of former President Donald Trump's immunity claim. Brazil said, "I've never been here before, and I never thought in years, almost 30 years that I worked in the presidential politics and campaigns, that I would ever have to figure out some talking points when your opponent, in the case of Donald Trump, is sitting in court all day and not on the campaign trail." Now, what? She continued. Okay, let me just let her say it. Because remember who this is, Donna Brazil. You know who Donna Brazil is, right? She's another Clinton person, okay? Oh, I'm not watching 7 minutes of Donna Brazil. No. I'll just read the quote. She continued, "I have to make a statement because I remember Bush versus Gore as if it were yesterday. I do believe that the Supreme Court is dangling into election interference by slowing it down. I'm not a lawyer." Okay, then shut the fuck up. "But I had to listen to the oral arguments the other day. What I heard again was they weren't talking about the facts of the case. They were coming up with all these hypotheticals." Okay, listen, in the Supreme Court, you don't talk about the facts of the case. You talk about the legal principles. That's why they were asking hypothetical scenarios. When would this apply? When would it not apply? The Supreme Court does not adjudicate facts of cases. You just proved you're not a lawyer. They were coming up with all these hypotheticals. They should go ahead and allow this trial on January 6th to go forward in the district court, and we should know the results before the election. That's all you care about. That's all you care about, because you care about democracy. Democrats in power. She added, "You can still argue the timing. I mean, the District Court of Appeal rendered this decision in February. Jack Smith said all along, the special counsel said back in December, go ahead, make the decision, and they are dragging their feet. No, they're just working like the Supreme Court normally works." So she concluded, "Justice delayed is democracy denied." Democrats in power. That's what's at stake. Democrats in power. That's all they care about. Democrats in power. Now, other Trump trial stuff. Let's go to left here. In American Thinker, the defense strategy in the case of New York versus Trump. Let's talk about the Alvin Bragg case too. And again, these are Trump supporting publications. They're on the right, so if you didn't notice, but they also make some pretty good points. So let's not just assume that because they're on the right, like myself, that they're wrong. The sham, but you'll notice the language in these articles are definitely supportive of Donald Trump. The sham trial in New York City being orchestrated by DA Alvin Bragg against Donald Trump is designed to keep Trump off the campaign trail and further salacious material to create more doubt about him in the minds of undecided voters. The judge, Juan Merchan, is an acting Supreme Court judge that In New York, the Supreme Court is just the court. The appellate court are the higher courts. Supreme Court judge appointed to this position by the administrative chief judge Ann Pfau, and selected for this case since he has presided over other Trump cases. Though I'm not a lawyer, the obvious failings of this case are numerous. I propose to outline a strategy for a non-guilty verdict instead of a hung jury. After 1 week of testimony, there's no clear indication of the underlying crime that Bragg used to elevate misdemeanor crimes to a felony. A bill of particulars in the indictment is required in the American criminal proceedings and was one of the rationales for the revolution. Therefore, it is incumbent upon the defense to call legal scholars to demonstrate this limitation. Several would be able to clearly state that the tabloid catch and kill efforts are not illegal and are ordinary political and celebrity procedure, when then David Pecker's testimony could be nullified in the jury's minds. Many legal scholars have stated that the defense should only show that there is no proof of criminal activity, which would allow any juror to hang the decision. This will not help Trump in the election, as a not guilty result will. Further, an effort to show that this trial is illegitimate will give credence to Trump's claim that he's being persecuted. If there's any evidence of Alvin Bragg's interaction with the White House, this should be brought out. That's the other part. They've all had interaction with the D.C. Democrats and the White House. If this requires calling him as a witness, it should be pursued. Undoubtedly, Judge Merchant will balk, giving another cause for appeal should that be necessary. This is a way of showing this prosecution is political. Michael Colangelo left his senior position in the Justice Department to take a lesser position as a prosecutor in this case. Further suggests political motivation. This should be brought out. I would call on Mark Pomerantz, who quit Bragg's office and wrote People versus Trump, an inside account. He repeatedly took the fifth when called by the House Judiciary Committee. That would look terrible to a jury. Further, the prosecution has yet to demonstrate how the statute of limitations should be ignored for the primary crimes being charged. Even the judge indicated that there were several possible underlying crimes which were not identified against the constitutional requirement. This could allow a double jeopardy claim, as at least 4 ideas were claimed in pretrial motions. An effort to have the legal scholars testify to these issues would help further. The judge might object, though the jury might be instructed to ignore these issues, but once heard, how can they forget? Also, Judge Merchant is in violation of judicial regulations, which require 6 degrees of separation from any family member that could have any financial benefit from these proceedings. His daughter works for a political consulting firm that has represented many Democrats and is raising funds off this trial. Further, Merchant is required to instruct a jury when a claim of illegality is falsely made by the prosecution, but the worst error he has made is to allow this extraneous evidence. The Court of Appeals of New York State just ordered a new trial for Harvey Weinstein in his sexual misconduct trial. This was necessary since the judge in that case allowed unrelated evidence into the case against Weinstein. The same is already apparent in the Trump case. Further, what is the crime in extramarital affairs? The defense should call federal officials who refuse to prosecute him for election issues. The defense must demonstrate that the New York City DA has no authority over federal crimes. A not guilty verdict will boost Trump's campaign beyond any speech, ad, or debate. So anyway, those are the from American Thinker, from Howard Warner, strategies for the Trump campaign. Where am I at here? All right. Everything else is odds and ends, so we'll just go through the kind of the gist of the headlines, and then we're going to get out of here. Also, trending on Twitter, apparently Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis have met privately. It might have been this morning, may have been yesterday. Let's see. Former President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis met privately in Miami to discuss the possibility of DeSantis helping to close Trump's fundraising gap with President Joe Biden. The meeting, described as nice and friendly, took place at the Shell Bay Club and has sparked speculation about DeSantis potentially becoming Trump's vice presidential pick. That's not happening. Because it would not be beneficial to DeSantis or Trump to have him on the campaign. DeSantis needs to be able to run on his own in 28. Trump's ecosystem accommodating another alpha figure. DeSantis agreed to help raise money for Trump, leveraging his extensive donor network. The event has generated significant interest and speculation within the political sphere, as it could have significant implications in the 2024 election. So that's interesting. And also, Anthony Blinken apparently now, okay. So in 2016, Democrats basically said the Russians were influencing the election. And the reason Trump won is because of Russian influence and because Trump was colluding with the Russians, which was proven false, whatever, whatnot, right? Now, there are Democratic officials saying that China
is asshole.
is going to interfere in the 2024 election for Donald Trump, of all people. Now, we already know the Democrats' very long history of being, let's just say, interesting campaign finance shenanigans or so forth with China. We've known that for years, that they've got a relationship with China. We never understood it. Maybe it's just the communism part. But Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's claim of China attempting to interfere in U.S. elections to support Donald fucking Trump has sparked a heated online debate. Users questioned the validity of the evidence and suggested China would benefit more from a Biden presidency. Oh, you think? The discussion also referenced Blinken's recent visit to China, perceived as a failure by some. Well, welcome to the Biden administration. The debate highlights the complexity of international relations and the role of social media in shaping public opinion, blah, 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 blah. Apparently, though, the Chinese leader apparently cannot wait for the U.S. Secretary of State to leave. This is, let's see what Mario says here. When is he leaving? Aid, tonight. She, good. Okay, I don't know what that's about. But it's amazing. It's amazing. So it's 16. Blaming Trump of collusion with Russians, blah, 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 right? And who really colluded with the Russians? Hillary Clinton. By sending a foreign spy, former British spy, over to Russia to get information from some fake Russian people, agent, whatever, make up some bullshit and call it the Steele dossier, right? She paid a law firm to pay the Russian spy to pay the Russians to come back with some phony bullshit crap, lies. Lies, yeah! To influence the 2016 election. Has she been tried in the state of New York for election finance violations like Donald Trump is being tried right now? Remember, basically, it's the almost the exact same thing. The reason the records are called falsified is because they were falsified business records. Hillary Clinton said, oh, these were legal expenses. Well, that's what Donald Trump called the payoff to Stormy Daniels, legal expenses. But Hillary Clinton's legal expenses cost the American taxpayer $40 million in investigations of Donald Trump. And they just poo-poo it like, oh, that's okay. You can. She paid for the fucking Steele dossier, a fake dossier from foreign spies and shit. And now, so in other words, blame your opponent of what you are doing. Anthony Blinken, what are you not telling us when you're saying that China might be interfering with the 2024 election in favor of Donald Trump? Donald Trump, who doesn't want Chinese cars being built in Mexico. Donald Trump, who puts tariffs on Chinese goods when he was in office. Donald Trump, who, Jesus, you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious, Anthony? What is this? Here it is. Here's Anthony Blinken. Here's Anthony Blinken. Hang on. Let me put his dumbass on the screen. Here's the clip that people are posting. If I can get this damn blasted thing to work, I'm frozen again. Here we go. Anthony Blinken.
Influence and arguably interfere, and we want to make sure that that's cut off as quickly as possible. We have seen
really?
Generally.
Really? Okay, whatever that means. That clip was lame. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Are you kidding me? All right, moving on. I got to get through these headlines. We're going to get out of here. All right. Bill Barr has doubled down on supporting Trump and has everyone in the media pissed off. How long is this clip? Is this too long? We'll see. No, we're not doing 2 minutes of Bill Barr. Because I have a clip I want to play at the end. Anyway, the people at CNN are just flummoxed that Bill Barr has doubled down on supporting Donald Trump. Hey, you know what? You don't have to like Donald Trump to be a supporter. You don't have to think he's the greatest human on earth to be support his campaign over Joseph Rahim Biden. Let's just put it that way. In PJ Media... Oh, stop freezing. Good God. Ever since the update, I've had trouble. Also, media reports shocking Trump New York City witness intimidation, and then we busted them. This one's I'll go through. In a shocking claim, Donald Trump was recorded making a public threat against his longtime friend, publisher David Pecker, before the former National Enquirer publisher took the stand again in the hushed Trump New York trial. The media reported that Trump said those words. The claim was stunning and it was shocking. And then came the rest of the story. MSNBC and Joy Reid, hang your head. Deadline, where's the correction? And this prosecutor pushed and media amplified deception could land former President Trump in Rikers. Let's go over the TikTok of this deception. Not TikTok like the Chinese app that they're trying to ban. Prosecutors convinced Judge Juan Merchant to issue a gag order on the former president and current presidential candidate. Gag orders are traditionally issued to preserve the rights of the accused, but this is Donald Trump, and those rules don't apply. Rules don't apply to Trump on election denialism either. That's a conspiracy theory, we're told, but prosecutors allege that Trump stole the 2016 election. Their case hinges on it. They claim Trump broke federal election law, even though the feds declined to bring the case after they looked at the evidence. But then, mere days ago, prosecutors zip-tied another alleged offense on Trump, a state crime for attempting to influence an election. This was news to everyone, including the Trump defense team. Lawlessness on the part of prosecutors? Of course, but this is Donald Trump and the rules don't apply. That judge hasn't dismissed this case before now, or that the judge hasn't dismissed this case before now is a wonder, or an explanation for why he hasn't. By the way, he tried to influence the election in New York, so wouldn't this be under New York law? Did Donald Trump win New York? I don't recall that. So now we're led to believe that on Thursday on live TV on the streets of New York and in front of scores of construction workers and others, Trump openly threatened David Pecker, who was still scheduled to testify that day. The incident was identified by prosecutors as another gag order transgression. So, Deadline Hollywood dutifully reported Thursday's incident on Friday. Here it is. The last was at a construction site in Midtown Manhattan on Thursday, where Trump visited with a worker before heading to court. There, Trump addressed himself to the prosecution's first witness, David Pecker, the former CEO of the National Enquirer publisher, American Media. Quote, "This is a message to Pecker. Be nice," Trump said, emphasis added. This is a message to Pecker. Be nice, Trump said, the Deadline reported, Deadline Hollywood. So here it is. Deadline Hollywood isn't the first place one goes for political news, but I don't discount it, especially when it's a quotation. But then I track back the quote. Judge for yourself if this statement and the context therein is witness intimidation. Watch this. today.
I think these may be more Democrats, but to me they're Republicans. There's not a Democrat in there. These are people. Look at that building. Look what we can do. We built a lot of great buildings in the city with these people. And
listen for it.
Great support. They're really amazing. They're very, very talented people. They don't get the credit for it. They have very few people can do what they do. We used to do 3 floors a week in concrete, and it was guys like this that did it. So it's very amazing.
Did you know about this?
No, he's been very nice. I mean, David's been very nice guy.
Did you know, Mr. President? Did you know?
Okay. Did you hear that? Did you hear that at the end? Did you hear what he actually said?
No, he's been very nice. I mean, David's been very nice guy.
Did you know?
He said, David's been very nice. He's a very nice guy. That's all he said. He didn't tell him to be nice. So, surprise, what the media claimed was a quote was not a quote at all. And eventually Deadline changed the story, but didn't tell the readers it made a big boo-boo. The last was at a construction site in Manhattan Thursday where Trump visited with workers before a headline heading to court. There, Trump talked about the prosecution's first witness, David Pecker, the former CEO of National Enquirer and publisher of American Media, calling him a nice guy. Prosecutor Conroy said, "This is a message to Pecker. Be nice." But he didn't even say that. In its third version of the story, according to Wayback Machine, this is what happened to the quote by Trump. So the last, and even then, so the President Trump didn't say that Deadline. Prosecutor Chris Conroy formed your talking points, and he formed Joy Reid and MSNBC's Band of Loons talking points. There are plenty of reasons why. So anyway, let's just make it simple. I'm going to make this simple for you. The media lied. Shocker! All right, remaining headlines of what I got, because I can't go through the articles, and this thing keeps freezing up, so it's bugging the hell out of me. In Daily Caller, there's video of anti-Israel protesters causing chaos for White House Correspondents' Dinner attendees. Oh no! Oh no! They were protesting outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Oh, so sad. Pro-Palestine protesters took to the streets in the nation's capital Saturday evening, creating a chaotic scene outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A video captured by the Daily Caller shows a large group of activists protesting outside the White House Press Corps' annual star-studded gathering at the Washington Hilton Hotel. A left-wing activist group, Code Pink, those weirdos, reportedly organized the demonstration, instructing supporters to go through Colorama Park to reach the hotel, according to the group's website. So anyway, they probably made it hard for them to get in and out. They did a die-in in the streets. They staged, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you can read the article yourself. Also in the Daily Caller, a Green Party presidential candidate, Jill Stein, arrested. Is she still a presidential candidate? I guess so. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein was arrested Saturday night while protesting in support of Palestine on the campus of Washington University in St. Louis. The video posted to the 2024 presidential candidate's X, formerly known as Twitter account. Stein is escorted by police officers with her hands appearing to be secured behind her back, while protesters could be heard in the background screaming and chanting. At least one person off camera is heard calling out Stein's arrest. So, well, I mean, if you're being trespassed for whatever reason, I don't know. These people should be allowed to protest. Okay, if they want to protest, they should be allowed to protest. But I do like the University of Florida's approach, saying, well, yeah, you can voice your opinion, you can hold signs, but you can't leave your signs on the ground. You can't litter. You can't put up tents. This is not a campground. You can't do this. You can't do that. But you can certainly have your free speech. And if you don't like all the other, all the other rules, then maybe you should shut the fuck up and go home. But anyway, moving on in Behind the Black. Apparently, good news, the nature of the riots this election year suggests leftist rioters are losing steam. No, I don't think so. They're not losing steam. They're looking for things to riot and protest about. And I can't wait until the Democratic National Convention. But anyway, amid the illegal protests by pro-Hamas anti-Semitic new Nazis on college campuses, a wider look suggests some encouraging trends, though hard to spot amid the chaos promoted by these genocidal rioters, most of whom are students, but led, it appears, by many outside agitators. Okay, that sentence says enough. You can read the rest, but so many of these protests are just somehow funded. They all have certain similar signs and tags and tents and everything, that there is some outside influence helping these people protest, but also the fact that these are college students who are guided by professors and the entire campus that says oppressors versus oppressed. And so they've chosen their oppressed, and they're on that side without all the nuances of maybe, just maybe, there was a side that was oppressed that got them to where they are now that you were forgetting about. So anyway, you can check that one out in Behind the Black. It'll be in the links today. Breitbart, Georgia. Oh, did you see the Georgia trooper tackle a protester during the anti-Israel demonstration at Emory University? I heard that the Atlanta Falcons actually drafted this guy in the NFL draft. Here it is. Oh, let's go full screen. Full screen, quick. Full screen. Maybe. Oh, everything's frozen. That's good timing. All right, here we go. Here's this trooper right here in the middle. You can see as soon as this thing stops, the circle of death stops going. Here we go. Oh, you can't even see it. There it is. Oh, he got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. just to let you know, that was a form tackle, baby. Did you see that? Let's see that again. And look, I'm not a fan of police tackling people, but it was just the perfect form tackle. It was like, look at him. He got low, shoulder, got around the waist, and man, just took that protester down. Okay, that's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing about that. Legal insurrection. Apparently, a Emory University professor was arrested. No victim, and by the way, that professor's no victim, despite leftist outrage, admitted she hit a cop while he was subduing another rioter. In any movement started by the radical left, a key component to fanning the flames and keeping the masses fired up is to turn someone involved into a symbol, someone who will serve as an example of why they must keep up the fight and see their mission through. We saw it, for instance, with the Occupy Wall Street protesters, where people in wheelchairs were purposely put in the front rows of protest lines. The latest incarnation of OWS, Occupy Wall Street, the anti-Israel demonstrations, is very similar in nature, as Professor Jacobson pointed out in a recent interview on Fox News. And during one such demonstration that took place this week in Georgia, an anti-Israel left found their next symbol, an economics professor from Emory University whose Thursday's arrest was caught on tape by, this is CNN. Something that instantly turned her into a progressive icon among anti-Israel activists and their coddlers in higher education. In a shortened video clip shared to the Twitter machine, which had been viewed nearly 8 million times as of this writing, we can see Professor Caroline Folan telling a police officer to stop it in the middle of a campus protest, as the officer tells her to get down as he is about to arrest her. She continues to refuse to get on the ground, so he maneuvers her there himself, and it soon after is assisted by another officer, while Folan claims her head hit the concrete. Now, during her arrest, Folan is heard yelling, "I'm a professor! I'm a professor!" I don't give a fuck. So, this is the shortened clip that was put on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Now, did you hear? She said something about she can't breathe. So anyway, you get the idea. So Folan was immediately painted as a selfless heroine who was just doing what any professor would do to protect their students, and others in higher ed rushed to her defense. "I am shocked and appalled to see my friend and fellow economic historian Caroline Folan treated in this barbaric manner. What has the United States come to?" Well, and then so there's several of these. Now, but there's the rest of the story. Comments to tweets and retweets on her Twitter timeline contain comments from people who were expressing support and solidarity with her. The problem here is that the longer CNN video clip, Folan is seen interfering in the arrest of someone who is presumably a student. Watch as he screams for a few moments at officers before walking over to one and leaning right behind him just inches away from his gun, seeming to reach out with her left hand. So this is the longer video. This is her on the left, in the white. Now, I don't know that I didn't see the reach part of this, and I don't know that she needed to be arrested. Maybe just told to get back from the scene, but still, my thought on this is maybe don't go into the scene like that. If there's any charges, they'll probably be dropped. But anyway, all right. I got to call this a day. There's a few other articles that I didn't put that are going to be in the links today. As you know, I drop all the links of everything we do into a one-tab link at the end of the show. Put it in the chat. If I don't know if my computer will make it in time today, but it'll definitely be in the description of both the Rumble and YouTube videos that are, linked for the show. And that's it. I got to go. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. 41 people, 29 likes. Hit the like button. Right now, before you click anything else, hit the damn like button and share the stream after the show. And if you want to sponsor the show 24 hours a day at pdognight.live, YouTube Super Chats and Rumble Rants during the show also, or Venmo Cash App in the description, you can support this channel however you'd like, or just by sharing and inviting people here. Welcome to new subscriber protocol. Nice to see you join that YouTube subscribe. And Jessica, your links to your whatever free OnlyFans guide blogspot thing, everyone ignore that. So there you go. That's it. Gotta go. Thank you. My name is P Dog Knight. And I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Look for the links. Hey, this is P Dog Knight. And I don't know why I did that. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.